These are the notes that are going to go in your notebook over integers. And the definition for integer is that it's made up of counting numbers, their opposites, and zeros. And counting numbers are like what you learn when you're like a baby. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not decimals, so it wouldn't be like 1.25 or anything like that. It's just counting numbers. And then their opposites and zero. So if you look, we're going to be using number lines a lot in this chapter. So basically, you need to know how to read a number line. So point A on this number line, 0 is already labeled, and it will always be labeled. You have to go over 1, so A would be on positive 1. And then for E, you go backwards 1. So when you're going backwards from 0, it's going to be in the negatives. So E would be a negative 1. B would be over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's positive, so positive 8. You go ahead and try to do D through G. So here's what you should have gotten. D is negative 5, C is negative 3, F is negative 10, D is, D's on there twice, so D again is negative 5, and G is 4. Okay, now this is how you would read integers. Everything in the red is what you need to copy down onto your notes. So whenever you see this, what looks like a minus sign, you read that as negative 3. It's not minus 3. It's not subtract 3. It's negative 3. And then, as I said, we're learning integers is like the number, its opposite, and its absolute value. So this weird looking thing where it says like negative and then in parentheses negative 3, that's read as the opposite of negative 3. And the opposite of negative 3 would technically be a positive 3, which is what this demonstrates, but we'll learn that later. And then whenever you see the two things that look like L's or like jail cell walls, that's the absolute value symbol. And the way that I was taught to remember this is that whenever you see the absolute symbol thing, that means that the number is in jail. And then whenever it gets out of jail, it's always free because absolute value is always a positive number. And that's what this definition says. It's an integer and it's distance from 0. So you could draw out a number line if you wanted. And if you did that, let's see. So if I have a number line and I have 0 right here, and then this is negative 1, you have to see how far that is from 0. So literally if you just kind of like do this, that's one spot, so it would be 1. Its absolute value is always positive. And then, like I said, this is the symbol for absolute value. So down here, it's just some examples. The absolute value of positive 6 is still going to be positive 6. But the absolute value of negative 6 is also going to be positive 6. And then, let's see, 2 plus 0 is still 2. So the absolute value of 2 is 2. And then the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. Literally, you just take the same number but make it positive. If it's already positive, you keep it positive.